All right, day 22. Day 22. Miles and I are back out at our Monday location, Foster Creek. Great quiet morning here, Western North Carolina. Mornings are getting chilly. It's warming up, but still in the 30s right now. But well, I was looking forward to getting out. Couldn't wait to run. Today's just a recovery day. Kind of follow a pattern on Mondays. Well, the week really. Today, Monday is always recovery. Nice easy run, followed by some treadmill hiking. Got a mile and a half. Treadmill, about 20 minutes. It's about 4.5 miles per hour at a 16% incline. Not really doing anything weighted just yet. It being a recovery day, I don't think I'd really want to do anything weighted. But today I want to kind of talk about RPE, rating of perceived exertion. We talked about heart rate and how to use heart rate for recovery efforts, and we'll talk more about how to use heart rate and RPE. I think they can be used both as effective measures of your effort for the run. But today, being a recovery run, mine is totally off of pace. Just taking it super easy, shaking out the legs, kind of like the episode I talked about doing a recovery run with my heart rate monitor, just making sure that heart rate stays super low. Now, that's easy when you're, on a flat road, like my road that I always train on. Really easy to control heart rate. But when you're out here, I don't know if you can tell, but I've been on an incline for a bit. Obviously, heart rate's going to elevate. And I mean, really, you just want to be able to know what is nice and slow. Now, heart rate may give you an indication that you're hitting that, but when it comes to race day, you kind of want to know your body better. And that's why I like RPE. It allows us to know our body, what it has on that given day, what it's able to do. So, RPE, or rating perceived exertion, is usually a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is the easy side, 10 being all out. And so you'll see various ways that people express what each effort should be. In my view, I kind of count 1 to 3 as a walking scale. 3 being a super fast hike, hiking with purpose. Others call it power hiking. Even a real slow jog. But 4 is what I really consider to be the where you start jogging. 4 is kind of my recovery, like today. Just a slow, purposeful jog. Just greasing the wheels, getting the blood moving. I had my long run yesterday. So today, just out here, getting the blood moving, getting the muscles working, getting ready for, you know, tomorrow and the next day. As you've noticed, I've done a running video every day. I'm used to running 7 days a week. Do I suggest that for everybody? Not necessarily. You know, there's a lot of factors that go into that. And we'll save that for yet another video. But for RPE, for all intents and purposes, a 4 is kind of your shakeout jog pace. And then I consider 5 and 6 kind of your conversational pace. So if I were to say here's a good indication that you're running 4, you'd be able to breathe through your nose. Nice and easy. You know, you're not struggling to breathe through your nose. Some people, they can breathe through their nose at 5 and 6. I have such a congested nose, I have a hard time breathing through my nose no matter what. But 5 and 6, you should be able to talk just like I am right now. Carry a conversation, sing a song. Some people like to know, like, well, what would that be for heart rate? Well, if you were trying to hit a 4, you'd be zone 2, low zone 2. If you were trying to hit 5, 6, you'd be in zone 2 to 3. Potentially, yeah, high side of zone 3. I say it would be probably, you know, 5 to 6. When you move on to 7 and 8, that's where I consider it more like tempo or lactate threshold. Zone 4 heart rate, kind of up to 85% of your max heart rate. It's, you know, when we talk lactate threshold, we kind of define that as the pace you can sustain all out on a flat surface for an hour. That's your lactate threshold. So that's 7 to 8 for me. 9, I kind of say that's 90% maximum heart rate. I like term it as like a 5K race pace. So not all out, hard. You know, you're definitely in zone 5, kind of max VO2. But yeah, it's not all out for sure. You're gonna feel a little bit of strain. You know, you'd probably be only able to respond to a question with a 1-word answer. Whereas maybe in 7 to 8, you could spit out a sentence, albeit a short sentence. And then, like I said, 10, which I don't prescribe 10. I don't like my runners to go all out very often. At least not my ultra runners. You know, if I had a miler 800 guy, or even a 5K person that was really trying to hit a really hard time, you know, we bring that stuff in, but it takes a lot out of you. You know, I don't like to go that deep. It feels like you go to the well, and you can only go to the well so often. So I don't like to ask my runners to go that deep. I spend most of my time at 5 to 6 RPE. If you know the book 80-20 by Matt Fitzgerald, kind of that 80% is the kind of aerobic, we'll call it, aerobic running, conversational pace. So that should be done at, you know, basically 4 to 6. You're kind of staying zone 2/zone 3 for 80% of the running. 80% of your mileage. You know, most long runs should be done kind of in that range as well. Nice and aerobic, building that cardiovascular system, getting that engine strong, building up your V8. You know, when you start, maybe you have a 4-cylinder, and then you get some training under your belt, and midway through, you know, building that aerobic capacity, you kind of switch out to a V6. And then when we get specific, you know, we build that volume and have you running a lot in that 5-6 range, getting ready for race day. You know, that's when you got the V8. So we want that cardiac output, that strong heart pumping that blood, and that happens by doing a lot of running at 5 to 6. You know, some people ask me, can you go too easy? Well, I mean, you can go too easy too often. You know, the body does need stimulation and challenges. It doesn't necessarily need a ton of anaerobic work where we're working the max VO2 system. You know, you can do a lot just by working the lactate threshold. If you keep that system moving and working, you can definitely pick up a lot of gains, and that's the 7 to 8 range. So it's good to throw in some variation and kind of have different paces, different efforts. You know, it typically takes about 24 hours to clear lactate. So if you do a lactate threshold workout, it'll take you about 24 hours to clear. Whereas if you do an anaerobic workout, one that's faster, kind of that 9, it's gonna take you more about 48 hours to clear the system of the acidosis that's built up through those workouts. So, but we become more and more efficient at clearing the acidosis, whether it be from the lactate system or from creating the hydrogen ions that come from anaerobic work. So over time, that's the fitness we gain. You become better at clearing it out. So, where are we going, buddy? So, the point being is that as you get to know these efforts, when you get to race day, you'll know what your body has to offer. You'll know how you feel and what you can sustain, how fast you can go, for how long. Because in training, you learned your body. It's the same thing with nutrition. We talk about, you know, the intake interval. How often, how frequent should you have calories and how much? That's, you know, very individualistic. You know, it's very different for everybody. But it's getting to learn and practice taking nutrition, seeing how your body responds, especially to different types of food. You know, what does it do? How does it make you feel? When do you feel lethargic? When do you feel you need more? Getting to learn those intervals, it's the same thing. So just as we learn what our body needs, we have to learn the efforts our bodies can sustain. Because I should also say that when you're running at an RPE, the pace is going to vary greatly. In other words, if I was running at 4 today, nice and easy, what I do today may not be the same pace. Even if I came out here and did the same course, it may not be the same pace on another day based on how I feel. I could feel better on another day, and the pace could feel super easy but be faster. So that's what we have to do in learning what our efforts are, is just learn how it feels. It's tricky to go by feel and trust yourself enough, you know, to be okay with just running and seeing how things feel. It's not easy. So like I said, some people, you know, they'll need that heart rate strap just to kind of learn, okay, this is easy enough. Because I think a lot of times we run too hard. We think we're running easy, but if we really look at the data, we're going a bit too hard. So going back to the question, can you run too easy? Well, I think it's better to run too easy most of the time than it is to run too hard all the time. So gauge your workouts, learn to know what your body has on a given day. Don't be afraid of what your watch says. Mine is covered. I hear the beeps, and that's just letting me know, you know, how close I am to the finish. And Patrick kind of gives me a number to go for, and so far as running goes, distance and time, and then I just go out and run. You know, I just kind of say, okay, gonna do this route, I think that's pretty close, you know, but then some days the route will be faster, and it may go a little faster than the time that's prescribed, which I really believe in prescribing by time. I think the body does so much better going by time rather than miles. And other times it may be a bit slower, or maybe I had more vert than the goal for the day and it slowed me down a bit more, and that's okay. You know, I just take it really easy the next day. Just adjust. You have to adjust the efforts. Even if you're being coached, it's more important to listen to your body, do what your body is telling you, so far as taking it easy, you know. And same thing goes if you got a workout, let's just say had a really tough day at work and you've got a workout plan and you're just like, oh, I don't know if I can do that workout today. Don't move it. You know, talk to your coach, or if you're training yourself, have that discipline to move it. Move that workout to a different day. Better to have a strong workout and feel strong and reap those mental benefits as well as the physical, rather than create more fatigue on a day that your body was telling you it wasn't the day to do it. Same thing goes for long runs. You know, listened to a really good podcast recently that talked about your long runs, and you know, we get into this, we have to do a long run every week. That's, I mean, most of us, it's our favorite part of running is our long runs and getting out there and, you know, perhaps being on the trail or out in the road training. But the reality is, you don't necessarily need one every week. If your body's telling you otherwise, if your body's telling you, I don't have whatever the distance is or time is for the day, don't do it. Go for a hike. Do a recovery run if you want to go for a run. Move it to another day. Or save it for the next week. Again, don't create that extra fatigue. Your body's giving you indication, you've got to listen. Anyway, I have a lot of thoughts for one video. Gonna spur a lot of others. Talk about other things, but also thought about the Coros, the Vertex 2. With the price tag on the Vertex 2, I decided to hold off. Save that money. Got a lot of travel and stuff, expenses associated with these travel races. So I'm not gonna add that extra expense right now. So no Vertex 2. I'm gonna stick with my Apex Pro, and I'll just throw it on the charger. The Apex Pro, it's got around 40 hours of battery life, so I'll throw it on the charger while I'm running. Just throw it in my pack, let it charge. Hopefully off the second charge I'll be able to finish. I'd like to run around 60 hours. That's my goal for Bigfoot. One of the first questions people ask is, are you gonna sleep? I totally plan on it. I'm not one of those guys that can stay awake for long periods of time. So yeah, I plan on getting a good little nap in every now and again. But I think I'm more on that and figure out more of that as that date approaches. So, all good things. I hope you guys have a great week, but I'll turn the camera back on tomorrow for day 23.